News Zimbabwe. That's on Facebook page. All News Zimbabwe. We are live now, so you can share with your beloveds. To those that didn't manage to make it to the forum today. Now, rightfully, to continue with our program, I will ask that we get a representation from El Patrona to give us a word or two, and then we get into our second panel. As she makes her way to the stage, ladies and gentlemen.
Hospital cashback helped cover the extras so his family could focus on him, not the bills. Starting a business can be challenging, but with our personal loans from ClientSure, Maria opened her jewelry business, and now she's thriving and creating employment. When Little Tabo
Colonel, businesswoman, wife to VP Chiwenga, and my distinguished guests, fellow entrepreneurs, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you all. My name is Benis Bore, and I'm a development practitioner and a consultant. But today I come before you as a representative of La Patrona. La Patrona is a non-profit making organization which is mainly there to empower lives without boundaries. We're mainly there to empower lives without boundaries. We've got 3 aims at our foundation. The first one, which is to award scholarships to the underprivileged children in refugee communities and Muslim communities. Number 2, our effort is there to complement the government's effort by seeking and thriving on opportunities for refugees, over 20,000 in our country. Number 3 objective is we are there mainly to empower the youth to become bold entrepreneurs. La Patrona Foundation is an organization that was founded by Madame Danya Kabwebwe. She's from DRC / have lived in Zimbabwe for more than 20 years. She's got a business called Sebam Energy, which is all got to do with fuel. She's in the energy sector. But as her representative today, as the Director of Development of La Patrona, she sent me to do something simple. I'll kindly ask you to look into the eyes of your neighbor. For today, just give them a pom-pom for being successful and bold as a female entrepreneur. It's never easy, and congratulations to you all ladies. Your faith, your boldness, being unstoppable on itself has made you go a long way. Also, she sent me to ask you that as you are starting up and scaling up, what are you doing to live beyond self? So I'll ask you once again to look at your neighbor. Ask them, what are you doing to live beyond self? They should answer. Who are you mentoring? Ask them. Who are you empowering? Who are you taking back to school? Who are you uplifting? I hope they are responding. I would like to ride on the speech that was given by Diana Katia. She said that we're ecosystem anchors. I would also like to add that we are human capital investments, especially the women that are in this room today. You've got the capacity. I believe in that. So I would like to speak to at least one person in this room. I see we've got a lot of women in here. Mrs. Munowenyu, I would like to acknowledge you. She's doing extremely well in terms of impacting lives and empowering lives. We've got a lot of women, including the First Lady of Zimbabwe, Dr. Mai Auxilia Mnangagwa, Second Lady, Mama, Makati Koshera, thank you for empowering communities. So, as La Patrona, we say that we are La Patrona. La Patrona means boss lady, but not only running or thriving alone. You need to empower the next person. Think about it, ladies. Who are you mentoring? Give to gain. Uplift communities. Zimbabweans, we need to build our Zimbabwe. Nyika inovakwa nevene vayo. Africa, we can only be built by Africans. So for a better future of tomorrow, for a better communities, we need to pull one another so that we thrive in our communities. So I will say that at La Patrona, sometimes you can't register your own organization. You can't then start at a big level. But what I would then say to you today, you can partner with us. You can partner with any other vision within this room or outside the room. There's someone who's there who you can assist. Like what Diana Katia was saying, that development starts off in communities, in those places you never think of. I know that you've got your visions and you're pushing and you're running and you're so successful, but also you need a voice of purpose. So we are open for donations, voluntary work, or any other thing that you might think of, be it mentoring. You now know the objectives. If you need a flyer, we've got Marcia there and Patience. Please kindly visit our table and pass by, get a flyer. Thank you very much. Together we can.
I like that. I second that. Together we can. And today, I did mention earlier on that we are here to witness a celebration together with great minds in this room. We're going to be getting into our second panel. And allow me to call the panelists to the stage. The panelists on the second panel will be Eminent Kumalo. If you could please help me usher them onto the stage. Sibonokuhle Buhlungu, Agnes Chimani, Paidamoyo Mazarura, Tsungi Manyeza. I am reliably informed that all panelists are in the room. For the panelists, to check if your mic is working, you will just tap it a little bit and then you can speak. Please help me welcome back to the stage the organizer of this event, Shama, to give us an introduction to the panel.
Thank you, Erica. Hey, I'm surprised. The second lady of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Mom, my queen, I call her, Colonel Minnie Baloyi, Francisca Chiwenga, the CEO for Style Minnie by Baloyi. Style by Minnie. My mother, we are honored to have you Colonel Minnie Baloyi Francisca Chiwenga is our guest of honor. A trailblazer in your industry, a respected businesswoman, and a visionary in the fashion industry. We have no doubt that your presence here at this summit will bring valuable perspective, conversation around women entrepreneurs and the advancement of women in business. Ladies and gentlemen in the house this afternoon, I would like to acknowledge the presence and showcase the other board members who are behind Zimbabwe Women in Business Forum. Because on my own, with my partner, we cannot run it. You also need supporters. You need people to cheer up. May I kindly ask our patrons to stand up? The Zimbabwe Women in Business Forum patrons. Thank you. I will start from my left. That is your right. That's Mrs. Chantel Munowenyu, the Managing Director for Discovery Ambulance. She is our patron, and we thank you, ma'am, for gracing us. On the middle, that's Mrs. Nyasha Magodo, the CEO and founder of Dariro Mod. Thank you so much, Mrs. Magodo. The last lady standing in cream, that's Mrs. Rufaro Manzungu, the Managing Director for Zim Build and Client Shore. In absentia, we have Mrs. Joy Mataruka, the CEO of Mana Resort. She's not feeling well and she could not join us today. Ma'am, these are the ladies who support the initiative of equipping young, middle, and old ladies, despite it's formal or informal. They help us to create these platforms. When we feel we even we are financially burdened, we go for rescue to these ladies. They stand with us through thick and thin. Thank you so much. To you, MC.
Thank you so much. Now we'll be getting straight into our panel. Steady growth is the theme for this panel. And we'll be touching here and there on legalities that are to be applied in business and so forth. I will be starting with Ms. Eminent Kumalo, and I will ask you, what are the most illegal pitfalls women-owned businesses in Zimbabwe face, especially when entering contracts and partnerships?
Thank you so much to the MC. And before I proceed with my speech, I would like to recognize the special presence of the second lady. It is a privilege to have you in this meeting, and I will also extend a special thank you to the organizers of this event. This is one of the most powerful rooms that I think each and every one of us has been to. And before I start, I would like to observe all the protocols and all of us who are here as powerful as we are. So now I'll proceed to answer this very important question. My name is Eminent Vicky Komalo. I am one of the partners at one of the biggest law firms in Zimbabwe, Mishinkomo Legal Practice. So I'm going to address the question starting from various aspects of what defines us as women, and I'll go to the pitfalls that I have seen in my practice of law. So firstly, the question that I would want to pose, and it is a rhetoric question, do we know our powers as women? Do you know your power? Do you know what you're capable of doing as a woman in business and as a woman in general? We have amongst us the second lady. I've heard that one of her titles is that she's a colonel. That is food for thought for all of us. So, firstly, when we define a woman, we start by Genesis. It defines a woman as a helper. A question has been posed before I address this meeting, that who are you helping? Why are you helping? Let us ask ourselves that. And then when we move to the next definition of a woman, it is still in the Bible. I haven't come to the law yet. It calls a woman a provider. That is Proverbs 31. Hard workers. And all of these definitions overthrow the pitfalls that are there. The major pitfall is a seed that was planted by history. Long back, women were defined as perpetual minors. I'm certain all of us appreciate what a minor is. It is a person who is incapable of handling their affairs without assistance. So, all of us in this room would not have been here without the permission of our father, our husband, or anyone whom will be given our custody. But thanks be to the changes of the law, that is the Legal Age of Majority Act, which emancipated us and allowed us to be in this room and allowed us to own businesses. So, by the very existence of that act and our constitution now, Section 56, it equalized us with everyone else in the society, that is, men included. It enabled us to be women in business, to be women who are commanders, to be women who are colonels, even. So the major pitfall that we have is that that seed of being minors is still in our minds now. Instead of being helpers, we need help. Before starting businesses, you would see, I will not ask each and every one of you, in as much as consultation is important, but the first thing that we ask ourselves, will I be able to do this? Why do we ask ourselves that? Because we have the mentality that someone, a second word, needs to tell me what to do. So we need to move away from that. And because of that mentality, we fall into so many pitfalls. I will come to my area, which is the legal part, and that's the area that I will address the most. I have addressed women who have failed to set proper legal infrastructures for their businesses. We are very proud. I have started my business. I am selling this and that. But does that business exist legally? Or it exists in the society? You are known as a woman who sells clothes, baby wear. We see all those shops. But have you made that business exist? And by existence, I'm talking about registration of a company. How many of us know that in this room? Thank you. And the hands that I'm seeing, I'm not very happy. We are women in business. A business must exist legally. There is an infrastructure that you set. And by failing to appreciate that part, we fall into the pitfall that we fall with our businesses. When you die, your business die. Your kids, your family are left with nothing. Because if you are selling bananas today at a marketplace, you wake up dead tomorrow, your place will be taken by someone else. But if you register that business, it continues beyond your life. It survives the debts that you may take as an individual. You are a separate person from that entity altogether. So that entity will have its own power, power that will save your family, that will even save you at some point. So, in summary, the pitfall that we fall into is lack of appreciation of the laws or legal knowledge. I was in this room when one of the speakers was addressing us on financial knowledge. It is as important as knowing the law. As I have said, do you know what a company can do the minute it comes to existence? I have also witnessed women, married women, who come to our offices purchasing properties together with their husband, and they sign the agreement as a witness. Do you know the power that you have? You have contributed, you are running your informal market there, you are contributing money, you are giving the husband to go and pay, and the agreement and the title deed is in the name of the husband. I will not use men as our victimizers, but I've seen also some of the women who see their female colleague taking a date, instead of partnering with that person to say, let's take this date together and start this company, they are signing as sureties. I am not saying do not secure or help each other, but do you know what you can do? Can you just be a witness? Can you stop at being a surety? Surely you can start your own business. You can engage your own lawyers to register your business. You can even register a trust to protect what you acquire using that business. So the major pitfall that we fall into again is lack of knowledge. And it is written in the divine Bible that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. So even when we are getting into the rooms, when we are discussing business, do you know why you are there? How many of us have been said, oh, she's in that room because she's married to this one or she's doing this and that? Let people know that we also think, I know my law, I know my finance, I know why I'm in this business. So let us not be afraid of raising our voices, because we are equal to everyone and we are capable of doing what everyone else is doing. So my give and take is, let us know our powers. And when you come to my department, I would say, know the law and you'll be unstoppable and your business will never fall. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that edifying give and take. I will ask Si Bonoguhle, in your experience, what skills or knowledge do women need the most? That is to take control of the economic future and drive change in our communities. If maybe we could rover the microphone. I will then ask Paida Moyo Mazarura to please take on the question. I will repeat it. In your experience, what skills or knowledge do women need the most? That is to take control of the economic future and drive change in their communities.
Good morning, ladies. All protocols observed. I don't want to start answering the question, but I want to add on what my learned friend has said. My name is Paidamoyo Mazarura. I'm the sales and marketing manager for Lingate. We specialize in property development. So when she was talking, I was like, oh, thank you. Because we see all these things all the time. It's important for women to know their rights and to be part of all property management that's done by anybody in regards to what they'll be doing. But today, just to answer her question, I want to talk about dominance. Dominance as a woman in a certain field. The market is shifting. It's no longer a place where women are coming in to fit in the box, but we're coming in to shape businesses and lead. And to do that, it means we have to be very good at what we do. We have to continue to learn. You never end learning. There is no way you can be dominant in your field if you're not moving with the trends, if you're not learning the new things, if you're not going electronic or digital, you will not make it in this industry. From the marketing department, I just want to tell you that your brand is the most important thing that you have. You have to know what you're doing. And that comes with learning your skills. We've heard about the financial aspects. We've heard about the law aspect. We also go on further. You walk the talk. We're talking about confidence. We're talking about leading the room. We're talking about knowing our products. We have to be very intentional in everything that we do. I was just watching the ladies whilst we're having the tea. Ladies, we need to let loose and fight for our brands. You need to be intentional to be where you're supposed to be. We are no longer begging for opportunities. We are placing ourselves where opportunities are. So be prepared in everything that you do. Read a book. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but read a book. It helps you. Learn to speak the talk. When you're going into the boardroom, you need to be able to explain and express yourself with confidence. You need to know what's going on around you in the country. What's happening? How does it affect my business? What's the AI? What is this AI people are talking about? How can I work with it? So skills are very important, and it's a must to always upgrade yourself. You never know where you'll be next, so you have to learn everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will ask Tsungi Manyeza, you will forgive me there, to please help us. I did ask in the first panel that I think one of the problems that we do have is that we don't have access to information. So even with the legals, some business owners don't know that they can get help in certain situations. Financially, people don't know who exactly to speak to get help in their businesses. So maybe you could help us with how can we make information easily accessible to business owners from all parts of the country, to be specific, Zimbabwe.
Thank you very much, Erica. And I'm really excited to actually see you in person. I've got your crush at my house, so I'm excited to see you.
Yeah, we'll visit that definitely. I'll send them a video.
Allow me to acknowledge the presence of Mama. Again, absolutely stoked to be in your presence, ma'am. Colonel Minnie Baloyi Chiwenga. We follow your socials, we follow with the work that you do. We're excited about the woman that you are and what you do for us. I'll also acknowledge Mningna Wangu, Shama. If hard work were a person, I think you'd all agree with me, the hard worker in the room. Together with your board, do keep being Aaron and Huri for this woman. We are drinking a lot from the well of wisdom that she creates. Now, this is a platform for information. And I think before platforms are created, as women, what is our appetite for information? And an appetite for information starts from humility. When your mom in the house, mother knows best, mother knows everything, right? When we are in the confines of our houses, and it's proven, mistake after mistake, it is in the formation of being a woman, of being a mom, of being a homemaker, that we have to have knowledge. So we have to seek knowledge. Now, when we step out of the house, the knowledge landscape is different. It's not the same. The knowledge landscape in the house is pretty much what we have created. We have created that curriculum, and everybody has to follow it. In the world of work, in the world of entrepreneurship, the curriculum is different. So the question is, how much do you want to learn? Or are you still mother knows it all? It starts by you saying, okay, for this $100 pair of shoes, I'll forego in order to attend this forum. For this that I love so much, I will forego in order to invest in online learning for myself. Because really the infrastructure is there, the platforms are there, where people are learning and sharing knowledge. The desire for you to step out. And I love that you mentioned books. I'm an absolute bookie. I love books to the extent that I do books like series, right? You may be watching 3-4 series at one go. Let's just talk about ETV. Once upon a lifetime, I was so hooked onto it. I would watch from Rhythm City to Muvango, like a full 3-hour block of soapies. Now I've outgrown that. I'm sure by just holding a pen and a book, I've sold out my age. I've grown that. Now I do books. So I'm running with 3 or 4 books at any given time. And what that does for you is that you're getting into the worldview and into the world spaces of the people who have authored these books. Once upon a time, we had Cindy Trim visit Zimbabwe. By that time, I wasn't quite the book reader. And then in the room, they were talking about networking, and there was a speech about networking just as I walked in. Madam Diana was talking about networking. And I then asked the question, because one of the things that she said was, um, try and network with people who are above you so that you can learn from them, right? And then I said, some of those people are actually in this room. I asked this question. Some of these people are actually in this room and they're listening to you. And these are women who are above me. Now I want to network with them, but I'm beneath them. So how do we balance that matrix? So she then said to me, you have to start by developing yourself to make yourself worthy for those networks. And it only starts by reading books. And it's a low hanging fruit. You know, books are now online, books are on shelves, books are in book stores. We even have so many book clubs that are now online that can get you into the culture of actually reading. And by this, I'm just going back to what is your learning appetite? Then the second thing is, how confident are you to ask questions? Many of us, you know, bust up. We don't want to appear stupid when you ask a question, you know. You're scared to ask questions. But behind that question is the knowledge that you're looking for. And behind that question is the opportunity that you're looking for. So I'm always looking at introspection before I go to extrospection to say, what is available for me? But what have I done? You know, the biblical Moses, what do you have in your hand? I have the stuff. So what I have right now is the attitude to learn. Now I'll move on. These are the women that we have in this room. Why are women leaders? We need to ask ourselves the daily question, what knowledge have I passed on to the next? It is also very important for scalability. We are talking about startup to scalability. If you are going to keep knowledge to yourself, if you are not going to build specific infrastructure within your business that passes on knowledge, number one, you're going to burn out. I'll tell you for sure, not so long ago, probably just 5 years ago, I used to move at the speed of a speed train. I moved fast. Anybody who knows me in this room will testify. I used to move fast. I used to multitask. I used to be anywhere and everywhere. Just 5 years down the line, a lot of my faculties have slowed down because of age. I'm aging gracefully, but I'm also admitting that there are things that I cannot do because I'm no longer at that age. I met a lady just now, and I couldn't quite see her from where I was standing because I forgot my glasses. I don't wear my glasses permanently, but in a room like this, I have to wear them. And I couldn't quite tell who she was. That's how much I've just aged, right? But now, as I am aging, who is the mini me who I'm constructing? This is our legacy, ladies. The businesses and the enterprises need to live beyond us. I was also on record a couple of years ago saying, I don't want to be just CEO of Tsungi Enterprises. I want to be CEO of a blue chip company, or at least Tsungi Enterprises should also celebrate a 60th anniversary, like all these other big companies are doing. Why not ours? It's because we have not built the infrastructure to actually make sure that our brands, the personal brand and the corporate brand, have got a good enough relationship so that the corporate brand that you're building can exist without you. How many of us are in consulting, and when you're not there, your clients don't want anybody else? How is that for the longevity of your business? So we have to put in place systems and infrastructure that allows us to pass just the basic knowledge about our business and be able to run it. I think for now I'll end here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very relatable details you were giving there on that one. Agnes, I'm going to ask you, you're in property.
I'd ask for you to share with us transforming mindsets that you could share with us that you've just mastered perhaps yourself that you think would help any woman in business, even if it's not in property.
Thank you, Erica. Good afternoon, ladies. Please allow me to say all protocol observed. As she said, my name is Agnes Chimani. I'm with Peyton Property. We're a turnkey developer. I'm currently the marketing director there. So this question is really an area that I love so much because it's a lot to do with us as women leading our minds first. In my own journey, I felt that there were a lot of things that I had to unlearn. Quite interesting that I'm a PR marketer, but I really internally had a fear of taking up space. So a big thing that I like to mentor, I have a couple of women who are in our organization that I'm currently mentoring. We have young architects and we have young engineers who are leading teams of men. As you know, we're male dominated. It's a big step for them to actually find their voices and fight for the female perspective in the workplace. But for me, it all begins with leading your mind, and it also begins with mentorship. I think as sisters, we're each other's keepers. And like she rightfully said, what would you go back and tell your younger self? What would you do differently? How can you have an impact on a younger sister's life in her journey? Like a lot of book writers say, we don't have the luxury to make all the mistakes, but we can learn from other people's mistakes as well. So I'm a big advocate for that, for mentorship within spaces, especially older women mentoring younger or people who've grown in spaces. It's not always an age thing, mentoring the others. I will also give an example, which is quite personal to me. When I joined Clayton I wanted to be the marketing manager. I was very happy with that space. And I'd also like to speak about men who create environments where women can take up space and can comfortably find their voices. And it was with the discussion that I was having with our executive chairman, Ben Nyaumwe. And he said, Agnes, you're too small for that. You are going to be the marketing director. That's your space. And it took me, I was like, gosh, sometimes we need a mirror because there are a lot of things that we've grown through as young African girls as, oh no, girls should just be seen and not heard. You know, be happy with what you have, be content. But I've unlearned all that. There's always more to go for. Go into places that you're not qualified to be in. Because if you're doing something that you're qualified to do, there's no growth. Get comfortable with the discomfort. Get comfortable with taking up space. Ask questions. It's okay to be wrong. Take the learning. Take up space and take up space comfortably and own your voice. So for me, in my current role, and even in other spaces, it's something that I've continued to advocate and see value in other people and say, no, you fit here. Because sometimes what an older person sees sitting, a younger person cannot see standing. That's an African verb. Sometimes you see the potential in someone that they're not sure of. Be that coach. Be the life coach and say, you can do this. I will help you. I've also surrounded myself with a lot of mentors, women in the same spaces as me, women who've done more than me. I heard someone speaking about I'm afraid to speak to people who I think are above me. I've learned to approach those people and ask for mentorship. I would like you to help me with my journey. Are you okay? We've got so many avenues now. Can I text you now and again? Can I ask you a couple of things? And when you're free, would you be open to guiding me? That has brought so much growth to me. I think that's my key takeaway. Let's lead our minds first. And as a closing remark, I cannot leave the stage without speaking about wellness. I know you spoke about aging. I'm a big wellness advocate. I think we don't speak enough about women's wellness, about menopause issues, about challenges of, PMS in the workplace and showing up, your body kind of letting you down when you need to show up. So there I say, let's get the knowledge. Let's understand what we need to do at different stages. Sometimes what we're eating is not enough. Let's get supplements. Let's find ways to show up in the best form so we can be the best in the workplaces. Thank you.
Thank you so much there, Agnes. I think in my short time in my space, one of the things I've learned from my bosses is show up, and then we can figure out the rest. But show up first. So I really did pick that up from you. Because we are pressed for time, I will only be hovering the mic to one person in the crowd to ask a question. And one of the panelists are free to answer the question. So, by a show of hands, please could I have someone assist with hovering the mic?
Good day, and this question is actually going to our learned friend there. So we call the lawyers our learned friends. So you spoke about compliance. I do trainings and workshops on compliance. I teach the women to be compliant, register companies, register with SIMRA and everything. But now my question to you is, as the legislative solution makers, how are you going to be assisting us so that we become compliant? Why the policies are coming in as if they're coming to fix us those who are going to be compliant more than those who are not. So the problem comes with the women that when you actually ask us to raise our hands, they can't register their companies. They can't be compliant. Why? Because there are taxes that are following them. And most of the people that we're seeing in business are not entrepreneurs. Those people are survivors. So we want policies that come in and say, okay, fine, you're starting at a very small scale. Can we be actually waived from some of the taxes that are coming in? How do you come in? Probably come do community empowerment literacy as lawyers, our friends, pro bono services, because most of those women can't even afford to attend a workshop for $20 because it's part of their capital. So how best can you assist us?
Thank you so much. That is a very, very, very powerful question, which is beyond me, but I'll hazard and try to answer it. If I follow the law correctly, policies come from parliament. It is the parliament that changes the framework of the law. What we as lawyers can do for you at best is when you come to us. Because as I am sitting here, I can only formulate a solution when I am faced with a problem. Because it's only when you get into trouble, and you come to us, we go to court, and we move for a change in the law. So here you have indicated that there is a prejudice that arises from the existing laws. How do we address that prejudice? It is for us to go to court. It is for us to convince the court that the legislature must change the framework of the law. Because as we are now, we are empowered by a constitution which is driven by feminism. So these prejudices can be addressed if either as a collective group or as an individual, you come to us. There are things or there are remedies at court that we do that are called declarators. That a court of law can declare a certain position to be unfair prejudice, and it can come up with a consequential relief to that. So my answer to you is you have to come to us. Let us know of what you're going through as business women, and then we find solutions at law to assist you. Thank you.
I think what I can do is to send in a ply to the organizers of this event so that we have more of them. So that, because time presses us. So if you can do this once a month, we get space to speak and ask questions and get in some more. Because
Over to you, Shama. This is on you to just, give us the platforms to talk. Because, like she rightfully said, some people cannot afford to be attending seminars and summits. And so maybe if we do it more often, we'll find a way to include everyone. So moving right along, I'd like for us to give a round of applause to our panelists for the edifying nuggets that they have shared with us. Another round of applause as they take their seats, except for Agnes Chimani, who will be getting a few words from her on Thornton property.
And flexible loan opportunities. Members can earn annual dividends and grow their savings with monthly interest. We also offer zero interest loans for disciplined savers and the Candor Group savings schemes to encourage financial growth. Beyond finance, we provide entrepreneurship training, mentorship, and real estate opportunities. With digital access, diaspora inclusion, and a vision to build
Okay, I'm
Zimbabwe's
just waiting
first
for my
credit union,
laptop to come to me.
Empowered Woman Excel Sacco is helping individuals build sustainable wealth and brighter futures. Empower a Woman, Empower a Nation.
Glow Petroleum, the 2025 award-winning lead in infrastructure and service excellence in the petroleum sector, supports your business operations with reliable bulk fuel supply.
As women, we like to tell stories. I love telling stories. Just like a well-crafted narrative, the Connaught Luxury Residence in Avondale, Harare has layers, a journey, and a powerful impact. I'm going to tell you a story behind the building about the women leading their own minds first. A visionary female perspective. From a female perspective, at the inception of the project, the design, the livability, and the functionality were really core. If you remember, I talked earlier on about how I am part of a team of engineers, female engineers and architects who have worked on the Connaught Luxury Residence. This was a female-led design. So from the sustainability, thank you. So from the sustainability and the aesthetics, the ladies insisted on a greener and an earth connection on the building's facade, as you can see, which contributes to the sense of calm and softness on a cooler climate. We pushed for a palatable and a livable aesthetic because, after all, we spend most of the time at home. Tinoti Mushamukadzi, this building was designed for women by women. And we took into consideration the things that trouble women. So we insisted there's 100% off the grid. You can see the solar panels there. The building recycles 100% of its water. In addition to that, we insisted on the harvesting of water to be incorporated directly into the design to ensure the sustainability of the project. There's a clip that I once watched, these comedians of Zimbabwean moms when it starts raining. We're in a bucket, we're in a, harvesting water, because water is a real thing, hey, in Harare. So you don't have to look for buckets here. The building will be harvesting water and bringing it back into the system. And then as women again, we wanted to prioritize our needs. In this design, we insisted that there should be a daycare facility within the building. I'm a working mom of 3, and I hate school run. I think it's such an energy leak. So we said the most important thing for us is our children and the children that we raise and our energy to protect our softness. So there's a daycare at the Connaught residence. You just go downstairs, you leave your kid there, and you're done. So we said as women, we're evolving, we're running businesses, we're sitting in boardrooms. We need a space that has what we've coined urban plus living, no more school run. The design was driven by the reality of living there, specifically the fact that I hate having to do school run. So, to achieve this level of urban plus, there are amenities within this building that were included in the design. So, if you can see there, there's a pool, there's a big pool and a small pool. The lead engineer on this project had just made one big pool. And as the women, we came back and reviewed the design and we said, where's the kiddies pool? Because where we are, our children are there also. So in the design, we also incorporated a kiddies pool. And we also made sure that the recreational spaces accommodate our children. The modern life, the wellness, and the work brain all residing together. And then in addition, we said we're always shopping. We need retail at this development. And so we have the Fresh Co., which is run by two sisters. That will be part of this development. We've got retail space within it. You can just go downstairs and find the spice that you forgot to buy. And then as women, we like health and pampering. So we ensured that there's a pro fitness gym included within the building. And then we also like to pamper ourselves, so we placed a spa on site. At the same point, you'll need a pedicure and a manicure. I'm a nails girl, that's a confession. So I was big on that. We work hard, we need to pamper ourselves too. And I'm a big advocate of the work-life balance. We looked at being able to work and live a modern life. You shouldn't have to work inside your home because it's hard to just plug into the work brain there. So we also, in addition, provided a dedicated workspace. We reclaim the productive time typically lost to travel through what we've offered a Regus co-working space, a serviced office within the building. You don't have to worry about connectivity, about being able to submit the report. Everything is functioning within this building. And then we also looked at staff accommodation. This was a big one for us. We had very long discussions about this. But we considered our counterparts, the women who help us raise our children. And we pushed for 10 on-site staff accommodation for women. We made a community investment and prioritized the women over commercial property. That speaks to the give to gain theme. So we also realized that most of our helpers currently lose 40% of their earnings on transport. And with the current fuel prices, that's just set to go high. So smarter housekeeping. We've got 10 units, we've got on-site housekeepers for this development. That takes away the worry of the no-show helper and those Sunday vibes we all go through, wondering, is she coming, is she not? So between the daycare downstairs and the helper on call, you're set. You can do you and you can do your business. So when you look at this building, it's going to start mid-April. We're groundbreaking. See the women engine and building dreams, the brains behind the building. Please can I have the last slide? I want to show you the women, the brains behind who've argued for this beautiful aesthetic. Please can I have the slide with the images? So this was taken yesterday. I took them out to a sip and paint, and I said, you guys need to get out of your safety shoes. So that's a team, they're engineers there, they're architects. These, I wanted you to see them in outside of their work element so that someone can also see that their daughter can be the architect or the engineer who builds the next female-inspired building. We've been living in male spaces. This is why we struggle in the spaces. They don't know how much space we need to wash the dishes. They assume. But this building was inspired by ordinary Zimbabwean young women taking the lead. So, in closing, I'd like to say I think I've mentioned this. I'm also taking ownership of my own personal growth. So, I would like to meet you same time next year as I reintroduce myself as a board member because I am putting in the work and I can be that girl. At Thayton Property, we don't stop moving. We don't just build superstructures. We build people too, and we build women, and we take dreams and build them into into a reality. Thank you so much.
It's 5,000 liters and 20,000 liters nationwide.
Thank you so much there, Ignis. Putting in the work is my pickup from that. As she takes a seat, please can we give her another round of applause? I will once again ask you to please stand as we welcome our guest of honor to the stage to give us her keynote speech. That is Colonel Mrs. Minnie Francisca Baloyi Chiwenga, the Chief Executive Officer at Style by Minnie.
Please be seated. Good afternoon, distinguished guests and inspiring, aspiring women entrepreneurs. First of all, I would like to acknowledge the organizers and the founders of this beautiful organization, Shama Nyamazao. Thank you so much for all this. And your partner, Kutsai Mukuku, I hope I pronounced it well. Thank you for this noble initiative, and we see the difference that you are making in people who want to do business. Thank you so much. It is with great honor and appreciation that I stand before you today as a guest of honor at the Zimbabwe Women in Business Forum's Big Summit. Firstly, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the organizers for bringing us together under the theme From Start Up to Scale Up, Strategy for Business Growth. I personally think that this conversation is very vital, especially in the current economic landscape, where women entrepreneurs are not only shaping the future of business, but are also driving the social change and community development. I want to quickly run through some of the insights and the reflections that we may need to consider on how we as women may move forward in building our businesses. You know, we always say that in business, there is no one head fit all kind of approach. Every business is unique. Every founder is unique, and every environment that we operate in comes with its own challenges, its own advantages, and so on and so forth. So there will never be a solution like
to everything. But it's up to you to look at your own situation. Be realistic about it and think of what works for you. But definitely, it's not about what works for you only. You survive in an environment. So you have to be aware of the environment that you operate in. So my speech today is based on both theory and practice. Theory in the sense that I think I passed through where someone was teaching business administration, where someone was teaching business leadership. So from the theoretical point of view, if you are a business person, what is expected from you? But also, as somebody who started the brand Style by Minnie during lunchtime, selling clothes from my master familiar, and people will be coming to buy clothes during lunchtime. So I also think I have one or two things that I can share from that experience. So the starting point is for you to be talking about a business, you have to have the idea. It doesn't just start from anywhere. What is it that you have in mind? But that idea has to be informed by the problems that are there in the target market that you want to target. It has to be informed by your passion. Because the problem with business is there will be days whereby business will be doing very well. But there will also be days whereby it's not doing well. So if it's during those days that the business is not doing well, at least it has to be something that I enjoy doing. So that's where passion comes in. So what we're saying is you have to have a dream. You have to know what you want to do. And you have to love what you want to do. Then, secondly, you have to have a solid foundation in many aspects. Remember that strategic business management and planning is not a once-off event. It is a process. There will be sleepless nights of planning. There will be frustrations. There will be a lot of things that you'll be dealing with. To understand that sometimes you may feel like this is not working. I cannot proceed. But on those days whereby you'll be feeling shaken, if you have a strong foundation, you will stand. Then the other issue is the ability to adapt to change, the willingness to learn continuously, and the resolve to develop yourself personally. You know, in today's digital age, we are dealing with issues of innovation. We are dealing with technology. And some of us are old school. It's so tempting to say, you know, zvinonetai. But unogona kushedzawo kuti vakomana twechidiki utu tokuratidzawo kuti zvimwe zvinhu mama munoita so wotoona kuti zvakuita sei zvakutoita. So you mustn't be afraid to learn. But the mistake that I always see with us is that we want to act like we know everything. There is nobody who knows everything. You are going to be learning from the next person, even from your son or daughter. 9 years, 10 years, sometimes they start speaking to you, we're like, okay, I don't know this. And you are starting to learn from them. So, you know, pride comes before fall. If you are that person who's too proud to be learning from other people, I personally don't think in business you will make it. So as women, we must learn. We must seek mentorship. Is there a person who inspires you? If that person is there, yes, maybe some are not available. But if that person can be available to you, Just be humble enough to go to them. I have followed your journey. I have seen what you are doing, and I'm willing to learn from you. Please, can you kindly assist me wherever you can? I know that you are a busy person, you may not have the time, but even 2, 3 minutes of your time, I'll really appreciate. That's you speaking to your possible mentor. And I know that most people, they are willing to share their journeys, they are willing to teach other people how to do certain things. So if you are lucky enough to find that person, learn as much as you can from them. So, like I said, we live in a world whereby, as a business person, you cannot afford not to understand financial intelligence. You cannot afford not to understand issues of digital and social media marketing, data analytics, financial technology, artificial intelligence, to mention but a few. So those are the things that we are faced with. Someone was talking and saying that forego some of the luxuries that you always engage in and enroll in that short course. It's so easy these days. There are a lot of online courses that you can do. You don't have to really go there physically. So just do something and learn something. Then my next point will be networking. Hapana munhu anongoti ndinofamba ndega ndisingabatsirwi. You need that person who will be your bridge. You need that person who will speak for you when you are not there, because you cannot be everywhere. So networking is very important and fundamental when you are thinking of scaling up your business. So you have to build relationships with mentors, industry peers, customers, and various stakeholders. Because collaborations can open doors to new markets, to resources, and to knowledge sharing. So I really appreciate platforms that are like this summit, because that's when we can easily, in few minutes, be able to connect with people that are making a difference out there. So what I can say today, don't be shy. Just approach this next person and speak to them if possible, exchange cards, and so on and so forth. But for people to be able, or for people to agree to be associated with you, you must be able to present yourself in a way that people want to be associated with you. If I'm to speak from small business, personal branding is very important, because people don't want to be associated with complicated things, if I could say. People want to be associated with clean kind of people, organizations. If you have scandals, people will shy away from you. So if you are serious with networking, if you are a small business, start with your personal grooming, your personal discipline. Are you a person who people want to be associated with? Are you a person that if you stand up to open your mouth, people will be looking down and saying, what is she going to say today? Or you are the person that people are comfortable to be with and say, okay, we know that she's okay to be associated with. So that's what I thought I could say, because when most people speak about networking, they just speak about your ability to be able to reach other people in organizations. But you also have to speak about making yourself to be that person that they think you are worthy to be in their network. Of course, the discussion won't be complete if we don't speak about the issues of resources and challenges that businesses face. And it's unfortunate that there can never be a speech that can solve the issue of resources in 1 minute or 2 minutes. But what we can say is be honest with yourself and the environment around you, and see what funding options are available to you. What do you have yourself? Do you have that small house that you can use as a surety? If you're going to be using your house as a surety, make sure that you are getting into a business with all you have, because you may lose everything. But also, for you to be a successful business person, you have to be a risk taker. If you stay in your comfort zone, nothing will come out of it. Because if making money was easy, everybody would be a millionaire. There are people who go out of their comfort zone, and before you notice, it has worked. So, be it in getting resources or solving whatever challenges that you are facing in business, be honest with yourself, but go into it with all the discipline that you need. I always speak passionately about being disciplined. Because there are people that when they make money today, they want everyone in the neighborhood to know that they have made money. You know what? It's not your duty to prove to people that you have money. If you really have money, people would notice. So don't even try to prove to people. Don't even try to be engaged in things that you cannot afford. If you got money from a business, remember there's always restocking that has to happen. So if you take all that money and go and buy a very expensive designer bag or shoe, how are you going to stock for the next business? It's not going to happen. So financial discipline is very important. Without it, you make money for a short time and then you go out of business in a fast way that you can in. Remember that as women, you are catalysts for social change. As women entrepreneurs, our businesses have the power to be catalysts for social change, embedding principles of sustainable and ethical way of running businesses. Most importantly, considering the environmental impact of businesses that we are running and the corporate social responsibility that comes with it. We don't exist in a vacuum. Wherever we are operating, there are communities that we have to think of. Don't be a selfish business person that is all about you making money. But where you are operating, have you helped any person to rise? Have you helped any communities? Maybe you haven't. You may be a woman, maybe running a multi-million-dollar business. But do you know that there are some women in those communities that even if we were to give them $100 or $200 to start a chicken project, it can make a difference in their lives. So let's start to think about the communities that we operate in and be the catalyst for that change. And let's go there as women and make a difference. Because we are mothers, we understand that there are families that have to be taken care of. We understand that how it is like for a mother to have a day whereby they don't even know what they are going to be feeding their family. So let's be those people that make a difference in their lives. But after all that has been said, we cannot overlook the issues of belief and faith. If you are not a religious person, you can forget about what I'm about to say. But if you are a religious person like me, you have your faith. You pray about your business. You put in the hard work. And after you have done that, you wait for the Lord to bless the works of your hands. So let us commit to this journey with courage, clarity, and conviction. Together, we can transform our dreams into reality and create a vibrant, inclusive economy that reflects the strength and the potential of the Zimbabwean women I thank you. I wish you a productive and inspiring summit. Stay blessed and have a good day.
Definitely, that was not only heartwarming, it was so relatable. I think sometimes it's nice to hear that you're not the only one who experiences certain things or looks at life a certain way. And it's when you hear from women from different facets of life telling you it's okay to ask for help, or it's okay to feel like this, or it's okay to be a busy mom and have work to do. It's very relatable, and really it just makes us feel like we're human after all. So thank you so much for that one, Kennel. We will be hearing from Ruletu Microfinance before I introduce our patrons, as we're going to get into our award ceremony for this afternoon. So if please, ladies and gentlemen, you allow me to welcome to the stage Ruletu Microfinance rather, as they are to share one or two nuggets with us today.
All protocols observed. I want to start to thank Amai for creating such kind of platform to empower women. We are Relate to Microfinance, an offshoot of Relate to Asset Management, a business which is led by a woman with a special name, Chengetai Katsumbe. Okay, so I want to take this opportunity to further thank every woman in this building. Don't end here. Please take these initiatives to other lower regions and equip our partners. We thank you guys for supporting these kind of initiatives. Please continue to learn. Please continue to help others to learn. Fight for getting information. As Relate to Microfinance, we came in as funders of all businesses, whether existing businesses, whether greenfields businesses that are startup businesses. If you have your idea, a viable idea, you can come to us as Ruletu. We are willing to chip in and assist. So we have a variety of loan products, from micro loans, small and medium businesses, informal traders. We have group loans. You can come in groups, guarantee each other, then we can support your initiative. We also do invoice discounting for both public tenders and for private businesses. If you supply your goods on credit, for example, to big shops like OK, Spa, we can discount those invoices at favorable rates. We also do agricultural loans, from working capital, asset finance, equipment like irrigation, planters, every equipment we can finance in the mining, in the agricultural industry. We can also do debt structuring. If your company needs some debt restructuring, we can do that so that the burden will be uplifted from your shoulders. Then we have working capital facilities, we have construction loans, we have leasing, we have bonds and guarantees. If you really want to participate in tenders, we have tendering bonds, which we call bid bonds. We have performance bonds. So as relate to microfinance, we are open to these opportunities, and we are here to assist as your funding partners. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I always think that whenever you get the chance to speak about your business, you should sell it well, you should speak well. And that was a nice execution there. Now we'll be getting into the awards ceremony. A time to ululate, a time to, I want to say this word, bueno praudisa. It only sounds right like that. So I'm going to ask for the recipients to move and get onto stage from this end. As you get your award from the patrons, you take the pictures. Tobudane ukuku. We leave the stage on this from this end so that we carry out a seamless method of award giving. Now, at this particular juncture, allow me to welcome, acknowledge, and please ask the patrons to the stage, the patrons for Zimbabwe Women in Business. They will be helping giving out the awards together with our guest of honor on stage. Please allow me to welcome Mrs. Magodo and Mrs. Manzungu, and also Mrs. Mudo Wenyu to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please can you give our patrons and I will also ask our guest of honor to please come back to the stage. We have gotten to that time. Please, can you take your seats? We have gotten to that time that we get to celebrate each other, to get to celebrate excellence as well. So please, when you know, especially if you know them personally, when their name comes up, feel free to ululate, to stand up, to clap hands, when they are coming up front. Once again, as you're receiving your award, please can you come through from this end? And the patrons' handshakes, the lovely smiles, the pictures, please can you also just look where the Zimbabwean bird is, so that your pictures come out looking correct, and then you can leave the stage on that other end. I will also be sharing the list with the patrons. This is in no particular order. I will start with Fungai Tanara, has been recognized as one of the top 50 women in business management. You also feel free to dance.
Next is Candy Banda. She's been recognized as one of the top 50 women in business management as well. Please remember to smile for the pictures. Charity Subarare, also recognized as one of the top 50 women in business management. That is in absentia, but I like the energy. That is in absentia. Bonagaliso Mlochwa has been recognized as one of the top 50 women in business management. She brought the right crew, the right energy. I like that for you. That's the right energy. Next up, Sandra Rusike. Sandra Rusike. I did mention for the right energies, our patrons will be helping me call out the names because it's the right thing to do. So in no particular order, feel free to ululate kanamchidao. I will give you the aid of my phone. So we just start from. Our next is Cherry Suburare. Cherry Suburare. I believe that's in absentia as well, moving along.
Mrs. Francis Clay Chikwana.
Do not forget to smile for your pictures. Social media eats first. We need the pictures for social media. That is Tariro Gomo. I take it that's in absentia. Oh, she's coming. That is Rumbidzai Machoni. I take it that's also in absentia.
Eva Joy Ara Fesha.
You know, I was hoping that as you were coming through to receive the awards, Panangacha Tambao, Abanana Amat no Tamba, Munazo. So ndakuti ndichatsvaga zita rehama yenyu ndochiritaura bekupedzisa kuti munozovatanga kutamba. Okay. Up next is Miss Catherine Ditima Chiwanza. Neti Musasa has also been recognized as one of the top 50 women in business management. I believe the media team is doing a good job with the music. It's right. I love the energy over this side. You know, one mauya vachiziva kuti vari kuuya kuzopembera. Trish Varaidzo Chibarinya. Please remember, if you're coming to collect your award, especially if you're passing by the front here, make use of the social media team, guys. I mean, if this was my moment, so please make use of the media team. Paida Moyo Mazarura. Oh, there goes a dance. That is the right energy. A panelist with the right energy. Exactly. There we go. Talking about knowing what time it is, my social media endos like it because you brought the right energy. Nicolette Mangisi. We need to do something for this table right here. We need to do something for this table right here because, yeah, you will also forgive me, please, should I pronounce your name incorrectly, please. You will forgive me for that. Next up, Chisuya Mopamanda has been recognized. You know what? If you wish, do you want to send a shout out to someone? Because energy, I would like to say shout out to all the ladies in the house. Lisa Moyo.
Next up, Everjoy Makonya. Everjoy Makonya. Everjoy Makonya.
Oh, I'm a go-getter. I'm an overcomer. Yeah, I'm already sure this year.
The energy is correct. Because the energy is correct, the moment is right. DJ, it is an inspirational song. This is the year, we just started the year, right? We've got so much time to do the right thing and make mistakes as well. So, DJ. Miss Rizna Chirota.
Zvinogona kunge zvakarambaraste. This year zvichaita jet.
Blessing Chinara.
I'm an overcomer. Yeah, I'm already sure this year zvichaita jet.
Rena Sambaza.
Zvinogona kunge zvakarambaraste. Asi this year zvichaita jet. Oh, I'm a go-getter.
Rena Sambaza. There she is.
Sure this year zvichaita jet. I remember saying, Mama, I'll make you proud. All the words that I proclaim that I'll be great someday.
I say this with confidence. I say this with confidence, yes, Chaita Chete. But what I want to say with no fear of contradiction is that we are so happy for platforms like this where we get to celebrate ourselves. I think one of the panelists did mention it almost sometimes feels like we don't have the space to celebrate her. So even if zvikanzi paruda kunzi tizonobhadhara tiuye takawanda tese hatingambokome nekuti this is our time, to our moment. We did ask for more of these events. So for this event, tisati taenda lunch nezvimwe zvese, I think a round of applause is necessary for ourselves. Zvichaita chete. Mufaro wandinawo mama. My heart pounds with joy when I see women celebrating like this. Who are excited today? Ayawaka, tomorrow we have an event at Mana Resort. How many are joining? Thank you. There's an event tomorrow at Mana Resort. There was going to be awards for CEOs and founders and after party, and there's going to be a speed after party afterwards. And kune vanoma full bar in catering tea. Thank you so much, Aiwata Farah. Without wasting much of my time and our guest of honor's time, Mama, as the Zimbabwe Women in Business Forum, I would like to appreciate, this is my token of appreciation, to say thank you, Amaya Wango, for gracing my event. It's coming from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Yes. Mama, you can take your seat and rest.
You can go and take your seat. Thank you so much. I would like to call upon Miss Diana Carter, Dr. Manders, Mrs. Mnangagwa to the podium. We just decided to do this segment because our guest of honor has to write somewhere. So we had to fast forward our program a bit. So from here we shall do exhibition, tour exhibition. Then we will list our guest of honor. Allow me to give my appreciation to Dr. Manders, the CEO of Zimbabwe Women Microfinance Bank of Zimbabwe. Thank you, ma'am. Miss Diana Carter, thank you for joining us today. There's also one lady, Dr. Madrin Chiku, can you come up? Mama, Mrs. Mnangagwa, my mother. Mama, this is my mother, Mrs. D. Mnangagwa. She mentors me, she trains me. Not amai. Thank you, Mama, for gracing. And our patrons, Mrs. Manzungu, thank you so much. Mrs. Magodo, thank you. And Mrs. Mnowenyu, thank you so much. And also, this lady here, she's my mentor. She's the one who groomed me. She's the one who tells me, Shama, don't do this. Let's kneel down and pray. She's an advocate. She's a lawyer. She's a pastor. She wears many jackets. Pastor Martin, I love you, Mkoma. Thank you so much. Back to you, Erica. Erica, thank you so much.
There's a saying that you need to give people their flowers when they're still alive. I don't think it's the meaning, the saying talks about flowers, literally. But oh, I appreciate you. Saka Mkoma Shama had to do that, and really and truly, you know that this, you know what, in front of people you can say, Munondi proud disa, Munondi chengeta. We are now getting into our exhibition.